We might not be very certain how the Baha'i faith impacts the community of Ugandans, but there are two things that we are very sure about. One, that the only Baha'i temple on the African continent is found here in Kampala, the capital city of Uganda, the Pearl of Africa. And two, the only Baha'i temple that is found on the African continent is one of the major travel destinations that we find here in Uganda. There is only one Baha'i temple on the African continent, and that temple is found in my country, Uganda, the Pearl of Africa. In this episode, we explore the Baha'i faith and the only Baha'i temple on the African continent here in Uganda. Bismac is my name, and this is the NBS Travel Show.
So the Baha'i faith is an independent world religion, and it began in 1844 in Persia, what is known as Iran today. That's about 173 years ago. The founder of the Baha'i faith is Baha'u'llah, and Baha'u'llah means the glory of God.
Glory of God.
The glory of God, yeah.
Nice one.
The purpose of the Baha'i faith is to bring about the unity of all mankind, of all races, nations, and states, as this will enable all mankind to enjoy greater well-being and prosperity.
How does the Baha'i come to Africa and Uganda in particular?
Okay, so in 1951, a family and a Baha'i from the United Kingdom traveled to Uganda. That was Mr. Philip Hainsworth from the United Kingdom, Mr. Musa Banani and his wife Samia Banani, Ali Nakchavani and his wife Vilet Nakchavani and their daughter Bahia, and they arrived in Kampala in August 1951. Immediately they began to share the message of the Baha'i teachings, and by April 1952 the first administrative body of the Baha'i faith in Kampala was formed. On this administrative body there were 4 Ugandans, that is Mr. Enoch Olinga, Crispian Kajubi, who was the first Ugandan Baha'i, Fred Bigabwa, and the 4th Baha'i was Mr. Musoke, Peter Musoke. Okay. So together with the other 5 who were Mr. Philip again, Mr. and Mrs. Banani and the Nakchavanis. So that is how the Baha'i faith came to Uganda.
Why was that so? Why Uganda of all countries, Africa?
So at the time, in the growth of the faith, the head of the faith felt it was an opportune time to bring the Baha'i faith to Africa. And this family decided to come here with Mr. Philip Hainsworth.
And decided to come to Uganda?
To Uganda.
Not any other country?
Not any other country. Other countries did receive what we call pioneers. These are individuals who accept to travel to a country where the faith has never been established, or in those days had never been established, and begin to share the Baha'i teachings there. By October 1952, there were over 100 Baha'is in the Ugandan community from 15 different tribes in Uganda, and by 1954 the number had risen to 670, from over 20 different tribes. Now Uganda, as we know, is a very hospitable country.
Oh yeah.
And the Baha'i faith was very well received here, and in 1953, 3 Ugandan Baha'is actually traveled to different parts of Africa and initiated the development of the Baha'i faith there. Mr. Enoch Olinga traveled to the British Cameroons. Sam Ngono traveled to the DRC Congo, and Max Kanyerezi traveled to Congo Brazzaville. So Uganda played, the Ugandan Baha'is played a pivotal role of the expansion of the Baha'i faith in Africa.
Okay. Yeah. So should I assume, from what you're saying, you're trying to say that it's because of the hospitality of many Ugandans that the Baha'i faith came to Uganda?
Well, I think
It's one of
they received the faith well.
Okay.
And they arose to embrace it and to champion it. And partly because of that, the head of the faith decided that the house of worship that we see here should be placed in Kampala, in the city of Kampala, sort of signifying the spiritual heart of Africa. So I was born into a Baha'i family, but in the Baha'i faith we are required to investigate as individuals and decide for ourselves.
Okay.
So by the age of 15, my parents left me free to decide what I want to become. And I decided I would like to be a Baha'i, but really I embraced the faith in 2006. That is when I really identified myself with the Baha'i faith.
Okay. In a situation where I want to become a Baha'i, what are the do's and don'ts? What is the criteria?
So becoming a Baha'i is a process, and I wouldn't say that there are do's and don'ts, but it is good to understand who Baha'u'llah is, the founder of the Baha'i faith, and why he brought these teachings that he brought. And if you have that conviction that these teachings are from God, then you can become a Baha'i.
Okay.
Following the reign of Idi Amin, when the Baha'i faith was banned, and the consequent murder of the Baha'i hand of cause Enoch Olinga and his family, the Association of Religion Data Archives, relying on the World Christian Encyclopedia, estimated about 78,500 Baha'is in Uganda. There are 7 Baha'i temples in the world situated in North America, Australia, Germany, Panama, Samoa, India, and in Uganda, which is the mother temple in Africa.